Every off-road trip is different. Depending on the time of the year, the weather and the surface, a trip on an unsealed road can vary greatly.
Of course, any advice we can offer here is going to be pretty general. If you're travelling on mud, snow, rock or sand, then we recommend seeking more specific instructions, or better still, enrolling in an off-road driver education course.
But for the simple transition from on-road to off-road, there are a couple of tips that are worth noting and that might just keep you out of trouble.
For extended off-road touring, it's worth dropping typical 4x4 tyres to a pressure of around 28 psi. Experience says it helps to resist punctures, but it's also worth noting that this advice does not apply to road tread and low-profile rubber. Of course, you need to find a safe spot to pull over. Ideally, you want to find a place on a straight stretch of road so you're in clear view of oncoming traffic.
Better still, try to get off the road entirely, perhaps into a roadside stop or a layaway.
Pulling over for a few minutes not only gives you a chance to adjust your tyre pressure, but to check wheel nut tension and look around the vehicle for anything that might appear out of the ordinary. If you're towing, it's a great idea to check your tow hitch and electrical connections, as well as the wheel nut tension and tyre pressures of your trailer or caravan. Changing the inflation of your rubber gives the tyre a wider contact patch and reduces susceptibility to puncturing from sharp rocks and tree roots. Refer to your owner's manual for the correct pressure for your vehicle, and remember, tyre pressures change with temperature. It's advisable to check your tyres when they're nice and cool, and for peace of mind, again each morning before you set off. And remember, the lower you go, the slower you go. Four-wheel drive experts say an 80 km/h maximum prevents tyres from overheating when running lower pressures, while also giving a safety margin in case you need to brake or swerve around unforeseen obstacles. Slow and steady mightn't necessarily win the race, but it will help you get to the other end. It also pays to walk through any water crossings or rough patches before driving through, and be sure to select four-wheel drive before tackling obstacles and not halfway through. Pay attention to the weather conditions and heed road closures. Unsealed outback roads can quickly become impassable in the wet. It's also a great idea not to drive in the dust of a lead vehicle. Slowing down gives you better visibility and helps you and your car breathe easier. Switch your aircon to recirculate and pop your headlights on to make sure you can be seen. We also recommend slowing down for corners more than you usually would. Lower tyre pressures and the extra weight you'll no doubt have on board can lead to a loss of grip on corners heavy with loose gravel and dirt. And finally, be sure to look well ahead. Keep an eye out for large potholes or washouts that may require a significant drop in speed. Changes in the colour of the dirt could also mean a change in the grip the road offers, so stay vigilant, be aware of animals and change drivers if you're feeling tired.
Oh, and make sure you've got plenty of fuel to get where you're going, because servos are pretty few and far between out here.